All right, Matcha fam. Headphones on. Mic check, mic check. We are staying hydrated today. Today is the day we don't have matcha. We're just gonna do it with water. We're literally. So cheers, Khalid.
Nothing wrong with a bit of water.
Never, never. You gotta stay hydrated these days. Oh my goodness. Khalid, I cannot believe it.
End of the year?
It's December has on a
Over.
mission.
It's over.
December has come on a mission and it's wild to me. It's been such an amazing year, 2024. It was a lot. And I'm really happy that even with like the hiccups of where we were just like, not staying consistent, we still ended up showing up.
How many episodes did we do this
I
year?
would say around 10.
Really?
Yeah, I would say
10.
around 10.
Not bad.
Not bad.
10 out of 52.
Listen.
52 weeks of the year.
Listen, you know what? It's okay to take breaks. As long as you still have the goal in mind, right?
Momentum.
But yeah, 100%. So I just wanted to give a big shout out to everyone who's been engaging with the content. I could not thank you enough for the comments. I had literally like the high schoolers coming to me. He's like, we listened to your podcast. Oh my gosh. And I did shout out one of them. And she's like, I screen recorded that part. And I was like, yes, girl. Yes. I have fans. I love it.
Good.
I love it. I love
very
it.
good.
And I hope that it's been inspiring you younger generations.
Especially the girls.
I love it. I love it.
Especially the girls.
And I've been getting a lot of good comments, even from my older podcasts. Like people are rediscovering my podcasts these days and just reaching out and telling me like how much it resonates with them. So thank you, Spill the Matcha fam. This wouldn't be possible without you guys. We hit 300 subscribers.
That's what we were talking about last week. We're like 299. I'm like
We gotta
299.
hit
Yeah, I was
300.
like 300. We gotta
Now
get
we're
300.
302.
It's good.
Yes.
We got the Spotify back up.
Yeah, we got to put the Spotify back up. We got some things to do in 2025. We are coming in on a mission, but
Damn, 2025.
5, right? What a year. What a year it's going to be. I don't know what.
So the last 5 was 2015.
Yeah.
I don't know why that just.
I don't
popped
know.
into my head.
I don't know what that means, but
But like, like.
yeah, I know. Like the
five,
5 at
like
the
the
end.
number 5.
Yeah. I'm excited
What?
for it.
I can't even remember 2015.
I don't know what happened last week, Khalid, or a couple of hours
I don't
ago
know what
at
I
this
did
point.
last night.
Exactly. But you know what? We're here. We're about to spill some matcha. And I put out one of those questions.
That's
on
what
my
I
page.
was just thinking about it when I was putting the headphones on. I was like, we just started that conversation and then
Exactly. Surprise. We're going to surprise you.
Amen.
So one of my followers on Instagram actually reached out and asked me if I could talk about how to stay consistent with goals. And I think it's really timely because
it's very broad.
it is a broad topic, but I'm going to like really microscope it in to 2024 is winding down and 2025 is just around the corner. And what happens when it's this time of the year? We're putting out these New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, new me.
And I did do a podcast about it, so check it out. It is called, I think, New Year, New Me, really.
Yeah.
And it was my thoughts about, New Year's resolutions. But you know what? We're going to really hone in on, okay, we've written these New Year's resolutions. We have goals. We want to do things in the new year. How do we stay consistent with these goals that we are putting down on pen and paper? And I think a good point to start off would be, fam, why are we waiting till New Year's? It's December 13th today. You can start tomorrow. We can start there. Like, if this is something that you really want to do, I mentioned this in my previous podcast. What makes you think that you're going to wake up on January 1st a new person? Like, reality check, you're the same person, okay? But you just have new goals. And if these goals are like going on in your mind, let's start them sooner than everyone else that's waiting for January 1st. You'll be 18 days ahead of everyone else who's going to be starting on January 1st. So what to do? How do we become consistent? How do we really make the most out of our goals that we're going to be writing down? I think first and foremost, you have to be real with yourself. is this genuinely something I want? And that's a very important question because every time we want to change something in our lives are going to change. How bad do you want it, right? So let's say we're going to talk about, I don't know, gym, relationships, whatever it is that you want to manifest in the upcoming year, a goal that you might have. I want to lose this much weight. I want to run this marathon. I want to do this, this, and this. Okay, so you write these down and now we need a plan. I think this is where people begin to lose sight of what it takes to stay
I was just going to say,
consistent.
the problem with a lot of people when they set goals is they're not realistic goals.
100%.
And they set the bar way, 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 way too high.
And I'm just like,
Too many drastic changes in their life.
it is. It is. And we got to take baby steps
100%.
to these and give yourself a broad enough timeline, right? So I'm down for a shoot for the moon, land on the star. So I am about like big dreams,
But
big
before
goals.
that, you set those smaller goals.
Exactly. And you
Micro
stack up
goals.
wins. So it's not about the goal. It's about every day showing up and then celebrating that you showed up today. Because like you said, it's micro wins. They're not the big one, but they're the micro one. And you got to keep that in your vision, that these are just as important, if not more important than the goal that you have written down. So come up with a plan, and it needs to be realistic. It needs to be a realistic plan. Your dream can be insane, but your planning needs to be very realistic. So I'm going to give like the simplest example of someone who wants to start working out. You got to find a workout that you love. I keep on saying this. Like, if you don't like it, you're probably not going to show up to it. And it's not enough of my friends go.
And it doesn't
it's
have
hype.
to be going to the gym either. That's
Not
what
at
I always tell
all.
people. I'm like, it doesn't mean you have to lift weights. Like,
No.
why does everyone have this correspondence with, all right, the correlation, between if you're working out, you have to work out in a gym and lift weights. Like, there are a billion ways to work out.
100%.
Why do you always correlate it with going to the
It could
gym?
be walking, could be yoga, could be Pilates, it could be weightlifting.
Whatever you like
Whatever it is.
kickboxing, boxing, Muay Thai,
100%.
jiu-jitsu, martial arts, horse riding, like whatever you want.
Exactly. So if you want to start moving your body in 2025, all right, first identify what you want to do specifically.
like, yeah.
Exactly. And then we got to be honest. Proximity is everything. Okay. So I know that most of the time, if your place that you're going to be going to exercise is close to your home, you're more likely to show up. And I know that
Give or take.
Give or take, but it is.
Some
It's-
people have the gym in the apartment and they still don't
right,
go to it, right?
right. But it's the thing is just like if you really want it, you're
True.
gonna.
It makes it easier.
It is gonna make it
Definitely
much
makes it
easier than like 40 minutes out of your way after a long day
Definitely.
of work. Yeah, it's less likely to happen
Yeah.
for you. So it's
Minimize
gotta
the
make sense.
objections. Minimize the objections to yourself. to say
100%.
that. Take away your own excuses.
And always remember that the hardest part is showing up. Like the car ride to the place is the hardest part. It's
Yeah.
opening the front door of wherever you're going. That's the hardest part. Once you get there, you're locked in. That's it. So stacking up those daily wins of I made it to my workout. Not even every day, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, twice a week, whatever makes sense for you and your schedule. Take out the comparison. Oh my goodness. Well, it seems like I need to be doing 5 times a week of working out or 6 times. There's no I should be doing anything. It needs to make sense for you. And that is how you stay consistent because it has to make sense with you and your schedule. We're busy people. We're human beings. Life happens. And if you get derailed for whatever reason, because like we said, life happens, that's okay. The goal stays the same. The process changes. You got to be able to adapt. We have to be adaptable, especially when it comes to goals. We don't know what life is going to throw at us. We don't know how our year is going to look, our days
Look
going
at
to
our
look.
podcast. Like
100%.
there was times we're very consistent, and there's times where we have things happen.
But there's a goal
Yeah,
at
but
the
we
end of the
still
day.
do it,
100%. So the goal doesn't change. It's just the process had to be a little bit modified because, again, life happens and it's okay for life to happen. You're on a diet, let's say, or you want to eat healthier and you have a birthday party, eat the cake. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's this amazing saying that's like that slice of cake isn't going to make you fatter, the way that a salad isn't going to make you healthier. It's not about that one time.
Yeah.
It's about, the routine of it.
The 90% of times that you were doing good,
100%.
10% is not going to
Exactly. Life happens.
live a little bit. I always say live a
Please.
little bit.
Please, because
Yeah.
if you're not, it's going to be super hard to stick to those goals and to stay consistent. Let's be honest. Like, it's going to be impossible. Oh, I'm not going to go to that party because I can't eat certain foods. Eat the food.
Yeah.
Don't even bring
Life's
your
too
own.
short for
And
that.
please don't bring your own food to a party. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like those meal plans. Like, I know you're dedicated, and I really, really, really like admire these
It's the
people,
virtue signaling. It's the look at me, guys. I'm so committed, and
which is great.
It's great, but
It's
I mean-
amazing, but there's a time and place.
Yeah.
And life needs to happen for you to be able to have that balance.
yeah, because unless you're a super athlete and like this is your career and whatever,
100%.
fair enough. Like
Okay, I get it.
understood.
Even
But-
they have cheat meals.
Yeah,
Just letting you
and,
know.
and not even so. It's like they still know how to live.
Of
They
course.
still know how to live.
There's an off season. There's
balance.
Of course.
Yeah.
So these little things, I feel like consistency is just making a contract with yourself and then waking up every morning, making a conscious decision. Come hell or high water, I'm going to do what's planned for me to do. And we talked about this on one of our previous podcasts about the trust that you have with yourself. Build that trust. You need to know that you're going to wake up and show up for yourself. You're showing up for yourself. At the end of the day, this is for you, not for anyone else. Genuinely, I can honestly say no one cares. We don't. No one does.
true.
No one's judging you, even though you think they are. And the hardest part is starting because everyone's like, oh my God, I walked into the gym. I had an empty barbell or I had the smallest dumbbells and everyone's like in beast mode around me or they're running like, yeah, but they all started where you started. Everyone
What's
forgets.
that saying? There's a saying. It's the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time
Is right now.
is right now.
100%. And the thing is, it's never too late.
No, never.
There is no like, oh, well, it's too late for me. Says who?
Are you breathing? Is
So-
is your heart still beating?
Exactly.
Go
Go
for it.
show up for yourself. And I know that I know that cringe factor is really hard. Starting anything, like not just working out, a business, a podcast, a makeup tutorial channel. You want to be like a YouTuber, you want to be a TikToker, you want to do whatever you want to do.
You're not gonna be perfect, and
No.
you're not gonna be the best overnight.
But practice is what makes you more confident.
I was watching. Do you know the streamer Speed? iShow Speed.
No.
No, you don't know Speed? No. Oh my goodness.
Like I need to
Anyway, I feel like anyone listening would know who Speed is. Anyway,
Okay.
he's this streamer, right? So he streams on online on Twitch or whatever, and like he just won the award on YouTube actually for like biggest upcoming streamer or whatever, like whatever the award was. But basically, he started with one person watching his stream.
100%.
And like for like weeks, it was one person watching his stream. Then it went to like 2, and then it went to
100%.
like 3, and then he had like 10, and then like now he's got millions. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And he's like, but I still remember like I had one streamer for like weeks and weeks and weeks. You know what I
And
mean?
people forget that was part of
And
the
it's
process.
like you just got to keep doing it. You just got to keep
100%.
keep going.
Because if you love it and you really want to do it, you're going to
You'll
keep
attract
showing
it.
up.
Yeah, you'll attract it. To you.
And you're going to keep showing up for it, even if it's just for one person.
And that's the thing. If you take that element away as well, like I'm not doing this for the views.
Yeah.
I'm doing it because I enjoy it. And
100%.
I want to make people happy and laugh.
The byproduct of it is that people are going to find you. Your people are going to find you. And they're going to be like, oh, I resonate with this. I like this. I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to tell my friends about it. Like, this is how momentum starts happening. But if you're always worried about, oh, I don't know how this is going to look, what people are going to think, you're never
I'm
going
not
to
good
do it.
at it. I'm not. Yeah, I don't know how to do it.
Everyone sucks.
You learn, man.
Oh, I have this quote. I think I made it up. There's a certain suck in success that people want to skip. The suck part is the
Sucks.
most important part of that
Jiu-jitsu
process.
is the best. Jiu-jitsu, you suck for a very long time.
CrossFit as well.
Yeah, like you know what it is in jiu-jitsu. You actually never really to yourself convince yourself that I don't suck anymore. Like no matter what belt you are, and I'm still a white belt, but I know from other people that I do jiu-jitsu with, like they're like, bro, it sucks. And
It
believe me,
continues to do
I'm a purple belt or I'm almost a black belt. and I still feel like sometimes I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Oh, and yes, hold on. Thank you for bringing that up because some people feel like the process needs to be all like love and light.
No, man, it
It's
sucks.
it's
It sucks.
the suck and success it does suck. And you know what? Instead of be like trying to romanticize it like we always, oh my gosh, the pain was worth it. The pain sucks.
Yeah.
It hurts. Waking up early to go to the gym hurts. Going late to the gym after work
Sucks.
hurts.
Sucks. Everything sucks.
Everything sucks. Starting your YouTube channel with 0 subscribers sucks. Starting your Instagram page with no followers sucks. Guess what? It's all going to suck at the end of the day. But if you don't get past the suck part, there's no success.
Yeah, and then you got to learn to embrace the suck.
And that is the most important part of it. It's not about, it's like progress over perfection kind of thing. Like it's not about, I want to be perfect at everything. You won't be, like, reality check people. Like you're not going to be, which is why I always wonder about the people who have these goals fluttering out in their mind and they're like January 1st. Why this magical number? Today, write it down at least today. Make a plan today and be honest with yourself. Can I be committed to this? Don't write 20,000 different things. Write 2 or 3, 4 or 5. What makes sense to you?
Like have your macro goals. Have your
Yes.
macro goals and then break them down into like
The micro.
micro goals. Just like
100%.
anything. Like we do. I teach programming, and when we teach programming, you have your macro program,
100%.
you have your mesocycle, and then inside of your mesocycle you have microcycles. And it's like this is the same thing to any sort of thing that you do in life. Like you have to break it down to the smallest subunit
100%.
and then do the small subunit things. And like you were saying before, I think we take the value away from doing those small things just every day consistently. We take the value, but that's what's actually going to make you go.
Those are the
further.
wins.
Yeah, those are the wins. Those small wins that you do every day. They're the
100%.
things that take you up. And we think that there's something miraculous that's going to come up.
No, it's literally.
You're going to keep waiting.
It's a slow process.
Yeah,
It's
slow burn.
Yeah, you always say that, and that's so true. And you know what? It's not gonna be pleasant all the time. There are gonna be great moments. There are gonna be like some peaks and some like really highs. Like and you celebrate those. Remember to celebrate those because we're always moving the goalposts. We're always moving that flag. Like, okay, I got this, but if I had, or if I could, or if I was able to. No. Celebrate where you're at in your journey right now, and then sit in it for a bit. And even sit down in the valleys as well when it's not so high. When there are some lows, because guess what? They're gonna come. Those lows are gonna come, and those are okay as well. Sit in those as well. Get comfortable being uncomfortable with yourself. Like, I'm not okay with the way
Embrace
this happened.
the suck.
Embrace it. Embrace it.
I think also on that note, we usually get to a point where you're still there frustrated and you're sitting, and I'm talking out of experience here, and you're sitting there and you're like, I haven't reached my goals and I'm still pushing and things aren't working out the way I want them to work out, and it's just looking like there's no light at the end of the tunnel. And then you have to check yourself and say, like, to be honest, like I look around and I think, man, you're not doing so bad. Like,
Look around.
If you wouldn't have thought of yourself being in this position
100%.
5 years ago, 6 years ago, or even 3 years ago, even 1 year ago. Like, you have to be grateful and
Present.
Yeah, and also remind yourself about where you were and where you're at now, because sometimes it's so easy to overlook because it just becomes the norm. Like, oh yeah, I live here and I do this and I drive this car, and whatever goals that you already achieved, you don't reflect and look back and think, oh yeah, a year ago I didn't have a car.
100%.
A year ago I didn't do this. A year ago I didn't have like a podcast. A year ago I didn't.
Exactly.
You don't think about it.
Celebrate those moments. They're so beautiful and so
Easy
important.
to overlook. It's so easy to overlook.
It really is. And I think it's just part of our like wiring.
Yeah, you're right.
You know,
You need to viscerally change that
Which is
element.
super
You
hard.
got to like check yourself and say, hey,
It's intentional when you want to rewire yourself.
exactly.
You have to literally
Intentional.
be like, okay, I'm grateful for where I'm at. Even if I want more, it's okay to want more. I don't feel like people should feel bad for wanting more. That's not what we're trying to say. But also sit in the present and be grateful. And also know that gratitude attracts what you want. The more you love and appreciate what you have, the more that comes to you. And I know that sounds like so cheesy and cliche, but trust me, when you're thinking in a mindset of abundance instead of lack, the abundance showers. And I also want to I want to also talk about the vibration that you're on. Sometimes you are not at the vibration that's going to get you to the big goal, but you're on the vibration that's going to get you to the one right below. So I'm going to give a perfect example. Last year, I sat down on December 31st and wrote down my goals for 2024. One of them was for my YouTube channel. Actually, two of them are for my YouTube channel. And one of them was I want to have over 100,000 views on my channel. And the second one was I want over 1,000 subscribers on my channel. I was able to get the over 100,000 views on my channel, and I celebrated that when that happened. At the same time, I wasn't able to get the 1,000 subscribers. Instead of wallowing and being like, oh, I didn't get my goal, woe was me, oh my gosh, I looked at what I was doing, what vibration I'm putting out, what is the content I'm coming up with, and this is how much this content is giving me reach. Now, in 2025, I would be insane to continue to do the same thing and expect different
outcome.
results, right?
Yeah.
So I need to modify something, correct? I'm going to reflect on that and modify. It's okay to modify your goals. This is what I'm trying to get at. It's okay for you to take a step back and be like, okay, maybe this goal
That didn't work.
didn't
Let me
work
try
out.
something else.
I need to try a different way of achieving a goal. And that's okay. Like some people are like, oh,
That's
I failed.
life.
Oh no, but
Yeah,
like I
that's
don't want,
life.
but people get spiraled into I failed. No,
You learned.
you learn.
You learned what's more important is that you know what doesn't work.
Exactly. So you stop doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is one thing that I really want to give to the viewers. Failure is necessary for you to assess, reassess, reflect, and move forward. No one, even the most successful people that you see out there, did it without failing. Okay. So take that element and embrace it. And I also have this quote that I really love, and I sometimes like post it over and over again. Chase failure, that's where they hide the growth. Like everyone's like, oh no, chase your success, chase this, chase that, chase your dreams, chase failure. Figure it out. Really, honestly, instead of planning how it's going to be perfect, start, fail, figure it out. Nothing's going to give you more insight as to what doesn't work than doing it and failing.
100%.
I am so sick of people being like, I'm going to project what I think, all the bad scenarios that might happen. Okay, great. I mean, you're being prepared, but life's going to hit you with something you didn't project or think of.
Sure. And you know what? It just makes you so much wiser because now going through that experience, there's two things that happen. You learn from it because now you've experienced something that doesn't work.
Exactly.
So the next time you have that experience, you're like, okay, I know that I've been here before. I know what to do in this situation.
Exactly.
Okay. The second thing is that when you're in this type of situation, when it does happen again or something that's similar happens again, you're like, meh, it's not that bad.
Exactly. I've been here
I've been
before.
here before. And actually, I stressed out a whole lot before about this, but then having it happen again, you're like, well, it worked out last time, so it can't be that
100%.
bad. And I didn't die, you know
Exactly.
what I mean? So I'm
The
cool.
world didn't end.
That's it. I figured it out. And in the same way now, I'm going to figure it out. Maybe the same way, maybe a different way, but like the feeling isn't as bad the second time because you're like,
course.
I've been here before.
You know what it feels like
Yeah.
to be in that failure spot. And also it gives you this shield, this like guard where it's like, I'm not afraid to fail. No one is more powerful than someone who doesn't fear failure.
Doesn't give a- yeah.
Wow. Like, and you know what? Nothing is more difficult than going back the next day. But when you do go back the next day, I'll be the simplest example. I fail a lift. I was supposed to PB and I didn't. The next day, walking into the gym, you're just, what am I doing here? all this hard work and I couldn't even hit a PB, but you showed up. That's the hard part. You can easily spiral
give up.
and be like, you know what? Nothing's working.
Yeah.
Forget it. I couldn't get my lift yesterday. What am I still doing here? Why am I still here? Showing up the next day. Literally, don't even give it 2 days. Show up the next day. Be like, this is it. I failed. I'm over it. We're in a new day. Being able to restart yourself. Wow, that is powerful.
It goes back to what you said about, and we've discussed this before, about like being honest and true to yourself.
Yeah, authenticity.
The more you let yourself down, the more you don't trust yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So be somebody of a high standard and high character for yourself
100%.
first. Because if you keep cheating yourself all the time and lying to yourself, you don't even believe yourself.
Oh, for sure.
So if you always keep showing up and you know you're that type of person to be like, you know what, I'm just going to silence this person in my head and I'm just going to do it. I don't care what anyone thinks. I don't care judgment. I don't care
oh, yeah.
consequences. I'm just going to go and do it. You prove something to yourself. You know
all
what
the
I mean?
time.
And it's like you actually show up for yourself and it does something inside of you.
Of course, it
does
builds
something.
you.
Yeah.
So if you're wondering how to stay consistent with your goals, it's literally showing up, whether you want to or
There's
you
no,
don't.
yeah, there's no magic.
There
I mean, I
isn't.
know people ask it a lot, but there's no magic formula. There's no,
You know what the crazy thing is? It sounds so simple, but it's so difficult.
exactly.
You know, like, everyone's like, that's it.
Keep it simple, stupid, right? It's the KISS principle. It's like, keep it simple, stupid. Like, sometimes things, you overcomplicate them,
Yeah.
but actually when you oversimplify them, that's the real.
The bottom line is you got to show up. That's the easiest and the hardest part of it all. I literally said, show up. Those are 2 words that I told you as the best advice. Do you know how hard it is to show up? Acknowledge that it's hard. I'm not saying, oh yeah, this is easy. You build routines, you build yourself. And this is the most important part. This becomes intrinsic in you. After a few weeks,
Automatic.
months, it's part of who you are.
Yeah,
I
but
can't imagine not working out.
And it goes, it transpires through everything that you do.
Everything.
Yeah, it's not only
100%.
working out. It's not only being consistent in that. You're consistent with your relationships. You're consistent with
Exactly.
how you treat people. You're consistent with yourself and how you eat. All of these things are habits.
Exactly.
And I think this is the biggest thing that people should know about being consistent. It's about changing your habits.
It's rewiring and reprogramming
Exactly.
yourself.
Exactly.
And that's hard and difficult. And change is ugly and sucks, like the suck in success. But you know what? More often than not, once you build that habit, it builds you and that's it. You're on autopilot after that.
yeah.
Listen, I'll be very honest with you. I know when my rest days are. Those are the days that are non-negotiable. I'm not working out these days, period. Okay. But on the days that I'm supposed to be working out, I will schedule everything around my workout. I'm sorry, because that's a priority now. This is part of my daily routine, my daily schedule, my daily habits. I can't imagine waking up on a Sunday morning and not thinking about my workout in the afternoon. That's not going to happen. Life might happen. Emergencies come up, but I don't know. But in my day-to-day routine, this is a non-negotiable with me. We can see each other after my workout.
Yeah,
We
and-
can do anything else after my workout.
Like you said, you wouldn't let something derail you, even if an emergency did happen and you couldn't work out that day and you
100%.
were looking forward to it. It's okay.
It's fine.
You
The
just
next
show up
day
the
I'm gonna
next
show
day
up.
or the next day after that.
Not even that. When I'm on holidays, some holidays, I don't work out. And I'll be very honest about it. That doesn't mean she's stopped working out. Ring the alarm. No, that means I'm on holiday, living my best life.
just
And I
taking
don't
a
want
break.
to work out during this time, period. Doesn't mean that when I come back to my daily routine, I'm not going to literally be back on my daily routine. So that's one thing that I just want people to be mindful of. Life is going to happen, but you build your routine and your habit. And there's something very tricky about this because when you're building the routine, it does need to go a little unbroken. Okay. Yes, once you're in it, 6 months in, a year in, you can start taking bigger gaps. But in the beginning, you do need to be consistent. And I did hear someone on a podcast talk about this. If you're missing consecutive days, guess what? You're building a different routine. Okay. Like this is what begins to happen. You've been showing up for, let's say, the first 2 weeks of January, where everyone's like hyped up on, ooh, my goals, my goals, my goals. And then on the 3rd week of January, I haven't showed up. Now you're building. another routine.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, if I'm going to give you really solid advice, you need to go a little unbroken. Rest days for sure. You got to rest and recover no matter what you're doing, but you got to go consistently. Once a week, twice a week, whatever you've shaken your hands on January 1st, you got to start showing up on those days, because this, the day you start skipping them, especially in the beginning, you are going to quit.
You give yourself reason.
Of course.
You're like, oh yeah, you know what? I had the other day off the other week, so let me just take another.
And then it's just going to keep on procrastinating. Another way of making sure that you show up, sometimes you got to pay for it up front. I know this sounds wild, but most of the time, if you've spent money
For sure.
on something,
This is like
you're going to show
marketing
up.
number one.
100%. So if you need to put down the 3-month down payment on your gym membership or whatever membership you need to get to, do it, because guess what? You're definitely going to show up those 3 months that you paid for.
And if you don't, like, you're at a loss. You know?
Yeah, you basically,
You just threw your
wasted.
money away.
Yeah, you wasted your money. So that's another little tip and trick that you're literally going to definitely
All the gyms out there, get ready for your
the influx.
the new year, new me.
100%.
Pay up front and get 20% off.
100%.
I'm letting you all in, guys.
This is what happens. So milk it for all it's worth. And if you have those goals, really honestly sit down, make a plan, make sure it makes sense to you, and show up for yourself, especially in the beginning, every single day. Acknowledge that life will happen. But the most important thing is to just show up. And I'm going to leave it at that, Khaled. I hope you guys keep growing, keep glowing, write down those dreams and those goals, make a plan, and show up. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.